Neighbor's insane son took my dog's life. I pressed charges to get justice, but his mother started lying about me and fabricating evidence, and even tried setting my house on fire. My neighbor's 23-year-old son is a nightmare to live beside, and I quickly realized this when on my first day he pulled an armed robbery prank. He knocked on my door with a mask, and when I answered he pulled out a knife. He walked in and took out some rope, then tied my hands behind my back, and only then did he take his mask off and reveal this was a prank. In the following weeks, he uprooted the flowers in my garden because they were too pretty, keyed my car after I told him off for the uprooting, and even placed a ladder against my house, then climbed in through the window to snoop while I was in the bath. About a month in, I was walking my dog when he came outside with this violent look. I'm not sure why he was mad, but he aggressively grabbed my arm and went to yell at me, but my 5-month-old Jack Russell defended me by biting him in the leg. He went to kick my dog and wouldn't stop swinging his foot till he connected with my puppy's nose, making him squeal. I verbally tore him a new one, but instead of listening, he walked away, telling me to say goodbye to the little piece of crap. That night, I woke up to find my puppy not in my bed, but in my backyard. He was covered in his own red, he wasn't breathing, and there was a massive wound in his abdomen. That night, as I stood in my backyard, staring at Max's lifeless body, the tears I had been holding back broke free. I screamed into the night, a raw, gut-wrenching sound, full of pain and rage. This wasn't just a senseless act of cruelty, it was personal. Jeremy had killed Max because he could, because he knew it would hurt me, and his mother would probably excuse it like she had with everything else. The police arrived not long after I called them, my hands still shaking as I explained the situation, but, just as I feared, they seemed disinterested in doing anything. Without any hard proof, they said, their hands were tied. They filed a report, promised to look into it, but I could tell from their tone that they considered this a non-issue. I was devastated. Max wasn't just a pet, he was my companion, my family, and Jeremy had taken him from me, without consequence. In the following days, Jeremy's behavior worsened. I could barely step outside my house without seeing him standing on his porch, staring at me with that smug, menacing grin. He knew the police weren't going to do anything, and now he was emboldened. Every glance, every smirk, felt like a reminder that he could do whatever he wanted, and there was nothing I could do to stop him. I tried to keep to myself, hoping that if I ignored him, he might lose interest, but he didn't. One evening, I came home to find my garden destroyed again. The flowers I had painstakingly replanted after the last time were ripped from the ground, their stems broken and scattered across the lawn. My blood boiled, but what could I do? No one would listen. Not the police, not the neighbors, and certainly not his mother, Linda. A few days later, Linda showed up at my door. I hadn't seen her much since Max died, and part of me had hoped that she was embarrassed by her son's behavior. But as soon as I saw her standing there with that familiar forced smile, I knew better. I just wanted to stop by and clear the air, she said, her voice dripping with false concern. I know Jeremy can be a bit rough around the edges, but he's not a bad boy. He just gets carried away sometimes. Carried away? My dog was dead. My garden was ruined. My car had been keyed. But to her, it was just Jeremy being Jeremy. I'm sorry about what happened to Max, she continued, as if that half-hearted